I would now like to welcome Jorge Fernandez and Michael Laughlin of NCR to the stage to present the Global Impact Award for Service Provider. And the winner is HLB Gross Collins.
In general, we help middle market, privately held companies with their accounting, financial, and tax needs. More specifically, on the international side, we help U.S. companies that are interested in going abroad and foreign companies interested to come here in the United States. And that's what my particular expertise is. Well, it's actually what they brought me in to do. But what we've seen is the amount of investment that's coming into the Southeast United States has been just phenomenal. Mostly from Western Europe, but we are seeing some stuff from the emerging markets. But just what we're seeing over the past 8, 9, 10 years, it's just been phenomenal. Phenomenal for Atlanta, phenomenal for the Southeast. And so that's what's really changed. And it's no longer the United States as being the global leader in everything. You've got big competitors. We buy and sell across the world. We use people's resources from across the world. So the international business, to me, here in the Southeast, is going to continue to grow, and it's a tremendous opportunity for us, and it's what we like to do, and it's what we're good at. So. Well, here in the Southeast, I think Atlanta being the hub of the Southeast, with our port, with our airport, we have cheaper labor, for lack of a better word, than some of the, Chicago, New York, San Francisco. I think the incentives the states have done has been fantastic. Particularly, we work with the state of Georgia quite a lot, trying to attract companies here into Georgia from a tax perspective. I think the incentives here, I think the infrastructure here, the weather obviously helps, logistical support from companies like UPS. I think that's really what's driving most of the foreign investment here. And it's creating jobs as well. All these companies coming in are creating a lot of jobs, so it's really good for the economy. So we want to attract more of those companies here and across the South. So. It's real interesting. In general, what we see, that one of the biggest mistakes we see is a U.S. company assumes that a U.S. executive will be successful abroad, or a French company assumes that a French salesman or French executive will come over here, both from a cultural standpoint, a social standpoint, their techniques, their styles, their mannerisms. That's probably the biggest mistake in a general sense that we see, assuming that our values and cultures or our systems and sales are going to work abroad or vice versa. So that's one of the business. From a tax standpoint, the sky's the limit. I mean, foreign companies really don't understand. They understand you're going to have to pay tax here, but when it gets down to state, local taxes, or sales taxes, property taxes, they just can't navigate through that system. And the same if you're going for the U.S. company going abroad to navigate the global tax system, where it's VAT tax or municipal tax, or it gets really detailed and complex quick. But it's just not the same around the world. It is flat, but it is still very different culturally, socially, tax, etc. I think we see both. I think we see a lot of companies come over, and if they're large companies, certainly they already have their own team. But we work in the middle market, smaller company space. We see some that come over here and they try to do it on their own, and it's almost impossible for them to navigate it, both from a business standpoint, a social standpoint. And then we see companies coming over when we're working with the trade commissions. They want all the help they can get. They understand they need someone on the ground. So we see a little bit of both. Obviously, the people who get the help are more successful here in the long term. We work with the state, we work with the chambers, and we also work with the trade commissions on that, depending on where they look. There's a recent example. We have a medical device company. interested in expanding into Europe. So we brought in the Metro Atlanta Chamber to help us with that. And from there, we're also going to be talking to several of the trade commissioners about foreign export. What's the best marketplace for them? Is it going to be the United Kingdom? Is it Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany? We help them navigate from the tax and accounting standpoint, but we also work with the state and chambers and trade commissions to help them make that decision, what's going to be the best from a business, a tax, a logistics. So we help them quite a bit with that.